In so much trouble.
I told you, the game's over!
I have always wanted to visit Germany, and although there are many things that the country has to offer, the highlight of my trip would be driving on the Autobahn. The Autobahn is a freeway where there's actually no posted speed limit, which means you can drive as fast as you want. Now there's a type of credit account called an open account that also is very similar to the Autobahn because it has no limits either. So that means you can spend as much as you want. The most common type of open account is a cell phone account. And as you've probably experienced, I know I definitely have with kids, is there is no limit to the amount of data or long distance charges that they'll give you throughout the month. Now there's other types of open accounts. There's credit cards or a charge card that have no limits, but they're just not very common. Now before you get too excited about the prospect of having a credit card or an open account with no limits, you also have to be aware of the downside. So the biggest one is there may be no limits, but there's also no minimum payment. That means whatever you use during that month has to be paid in full, otherwise you're going to get dinged with either interest rates or higher interest rates or fees, but worst of all and guaranteed, it will show up as a late payment on your credit report. As you know, late payments will definitely lower your score and it will stop you from being able to get approved from financing down the road. Now some of the telecom companies, even if you call them and say, oh, I can't pay it all in full this month, but I'll catch up next month, most of them are pretty understanding. The downside is that their system is still going to report you as a late payment, so be very, very cautious, and you want to make sure you always pay it off in full when it's an open account. Now there is a pro with having open accounts, and that is the fact that if there's no limit, then you have no high balance, which can also lower your score. But with an open account, there is no high balance because there's no limit, so that's one of the pros of having an open account. Just to prove to you that there is no limit on an open account, we'll take a look at the story from Chris Hadfield, a Canadian astronaut who after 5 months came back to a $1.37 million Rogers bill because of long distance or data usage, whatever it was. But as you can see, there's definitely no limit to what they'll charge you.